Hello, and welcome to Funch. Today, we'll be diving into the world of web design with Figma, and we'll be designing a landing page for a blog website. To make our design as clean and polished as possible, we're focusing on using readable fonts, creating plenty of white space, and ensuring proper spacing throughout the page. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a sleek and professional landing page that's sure to impress. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, let's get started with this project. First, what you want to do is you want to import the starter pack files we have provided in the description. So make sure to copy them and to paste them into your design file. Just gonna paste them here. We have logos, we have textiles, we have images that we're going to be using through the design, and we just have some very simple colors, and we have only two icons for this landing page. So let's start designing. Let's get a frame, just click F and get a desktop frame here. We can name our file here blog landing page and blog landing page. There we go. Before we start to design this website, what we want to do is want to set up two grids, and let's start with the first one. So we're going to be needing columns, 3 of them, with a margin of 96 and a gutter of 48. There we go. And let's set up the second layout grid, and this should be rows. Before that, let's just expand this a little bit, and let's now add 80 of these rows, and we want a margin of 60 with a gutter of 24. There we go. Nice. Okay, so now we can actually start designing. First, let's create a frame. This frame should be 60 pixels and it should align with your row grid. Let's scale it all the way to the end. There we go. And let's grab our logo. Let's name this navigation here. Let's grab our logo here, reader as well. And let's apply it here, and let's position it perfectly on the grid. There we go. Okay, let's design the navigation links, and for this purpose we're going to be using Lato, and for headings we're going to be using Montserrat. So this is considered body, so let's go and create the navigation links. The first one should be articles, and this should be 14 pixels. Oops, that's the wrong area to input that. This should be articles, and let's text align middle. The other one should be books. We have a newsletter, and we have subscription. There we go. Let's select all of them holding Control Shift. Let's distribute horizontal spacing of 40 pixels. You can group them and align them the middle both vertically and horizontally. And now you can ungroup them. And what you want to do right now is, since we're going to be designing for the landing page, for this will be the home page, but instead of home page it will be named articles. So let's just add auto layout here, holding Shift A. You'll see why. So because we're going to be adding a background color to this. Supposedly this would be the active page, so that's why we're going to be adding a background color to this text here, navigation link. So let's add maybe 4 on top and bottom. Let's try 4 left and right. Yeah, that looks good. Let's position this 40. Let's position this 40 pixels. So hold Control, select your text, and Alt to see the spacing. So it's 40 pixels. So that would be equal. And let's add a fill here. And let's make it black. Let's give it a corner radius of 6. You can select the text and give it a white color. Let's try adding 6 to the sides. Yeah, perfect. This looks good. Let's disable the grid and see what we have. Yeah, this should be fine. But before continuing, let's just apply a text color to this. So we're going to be using 2b text code for this text. So let's apply it to the rest of the links here. There we go. Okay, we're missing a line here to this navigation. So let's click L and just create a line that's going to span all the way through here. Let's add 0.5 width to the line, and let's give it a somewhat lighter gray blackish color. This should work well. There we go. Okay, so the only thing we're missing here is the search option component. So let's grab this icon here, copy it, let's just paste it here. There we go. Let's write next to it search articles. Let's align this text to the left. Let's select both of these and give them a spacing of 6 pixels. There we go. Group them. Let's give this text some grayish color. There we go. Let's create a frame around this and hold Shift A to add auto layout. And let's add 4 pixels left and right and 4 pixels top and bottom. And that should work well. You can disable the auto layout now. And let's expand this a little bit. Let's add 3 dots here. Let's add some fill to this. Should be something slightly gray. Just slightly gray. Let's see here what we can do. Select this icon and give it a gray color as well. There we go. Let's add a corner radius of 4. There we go. But I feel like this is a little bit squished, so let's try adding auto layout again. Let's add 6 to the top and bottom. Yeah, let's go with 6 instead of 4. Internal spacing. Yeah, this should work well. Let's hold Control Shift 4 to enable our grids, and let's position this on the grid. There we go. Looking good. Okay, let's start working on the homepage. So we're going to be needing a header here. We're going to be having a description below the header, the heading, and we're going to have a little text above it saying fresh articles. Let's first design the main heading. So let's write discover the best strategies to maximize your UX, and this should go down potential. There we go. Let's align it to the middle, and for headings we're going to be using Montserrat, so don't forget, change this from Lalo to Montserrat. There we go. And let's add a font size of 54. There we go. Align it to the middle. Let's design the text above this. So text above should say fresh articles, and this should be in Lalo. And let's give it a font size of 16. And we should give it the same 2b text color here. There we go. And let's grab the proper icon. Let's get this articles icon and just paste it here. Let's align them both. Let's give them a spacing of 6. this is already 2B color, so that's fine. Let's align this to the middle. Let's give them a spacing of 12 should work well, I think. Yeah, let's go with 12. And let's position this icon 6 pixels away from the text, and let's group them. There we go. Okay, let's select both of them, and let's position them approximately 64 pixels away from the navigation. There we go. Okay, looking good. Let's now add the paragraph below. So it should say discover the latest trendy news, interviews, technologies, and resources. This should be 16 pixels. Low. Oh, let's add 18 actually to give it higher priority. But we can still apply the same text color here. Now let's position this 24. Let's see. Let's go with 20. Yeah, let's go with 20 pixel spacing. It's looking good. There we go. Okay, we have that out of the way. Now let's actually design the main article. So let's enable the grid, Control-Shift-4. Let's design a frame around these rows. Let's go something around 500, 515. Should be good. Let's add a fill for the moment. And let's grab our first image here and paste it here. Oops, let's scale it down a little bit. Let's see how much we can scale it down to. Okay, I think this should be working well. There we go. Let's disable the grid. We can actually lock the image here, and we can create a rectangle. Hold R. Let's create a rectangle around this image. You'll see why. Let's apply a dark color. I want to set the opacity to 20%. Let's go with 15 actually. There we go. Let's lock the rectangle so we have a good frame right here. Let's actually increase the size a little bit. So 532. Let's unlock the rectangle and lock it again so we can scale it properly. Okay, I think that's sufficient enough. Let's position this image a little bit better. A little bit up. There we go. That should be working well. We can lock it again. Good. Okay. So now let's design the content inside this blog article. So let's design the heading here. That's going to say how to improve your UX presentational skills. This should be in Montserrat since it's a heading, and this should be 24 actually, 24 pixels. Now let's position it down here somewhere. Let's add the admin name that actually created this article and the date. So let's write here Jenna Finnick. This is just a fictional name. Came out with 15th April 2023. This should be let's add 12 font size Lado. There we go. Let's copy this down. Now let's write the description. Learn how to improvise your UX presentational skills by learning the latest presentational tips and tricks. There we go. Let's align all of them to the left. Let's align them together here. Let's position this 8 pixels spacing, and let's position this 20. Okay, now we have some tags here, so let's design some tags. UI UX, let's add auto layout, holding Shift A. Let's add 6 to top and bottom and 4 to left and right. It's a stroke, 0.5 stroke. Let's make it white, and let's give it a corner radius of 6 should work well, I think. Let's see, there's something wrong with this definitely. Let's try 6 here, left and right, and top and bottom. Yeah. So it should have 6 left and right horizontal padding, and the vertical should be 4. Okay, looking good. Let's add 20 pixels spacing here. Let's try 16 here. Yeah, looking good. Okay, let's create 2 more here. So let's right here design. Let's give them a spacing of 8 pixels. And this should be software. Let's position this text line to the center. And there we go. Let's select all of them, group them. And let's select all of our elements and group them as well. Let's give them a spacing of 32 pixels left and 32 bottom. There we go. Perfect. Actually, I'm not happy with the tint we have here, so let's select the rectangle that's adding the black overlay color here. So let's increase it to 20%. There we go. I did that because it makes the text more readable. There we go. Let's enable our grid right now, so Ctrl+Shift+4. And let's start designing the rest of the articles. So we're going to have 3 more articles here. And you can see how useful the grid has become for us to create these components. So let's continue. Let's create another one here. Let's give it a size of maybe 270. Sorry about that. Let's go to 70. Let's give it a fill for the moment. You can also remove the fill here. Let's grab the first photo here and apply it here. Hold Shift to scale it. Let's see how much we can go. Okay, that should be fine. You can lock the image here, and we can also add the rectangle around this image, and we can add the black color with a 15% opacity, so it's more readable. And now what we can do is we can grab this, hold Alt Shift, and let's put it inside again. And now what we can do is we can just change the properties here. So select the fill, add the black strokes, and the selection color here. So we're actually reusing everything that we have, but we're going to change this up a little bit. Let's grab this 2b hex code and apply it to this and this component, and apply it to these as well. So both the stroke and the selection colors. There we go. Okay, that's looking good. And now the only thing we can change here is the content. So let's write here best productivity hacks, and we can actually select the headline here, I mean the heading and this heading, and let's add a medium font weight so it gives it more priority. So the user, when users actually look into the design, they can actually read the title first and the rest of the content second. Okay, let's actually fix the spacing here. So let's decrease this to the size of the image, and this should be 20 pixels spaced. There we go, looking good. Now we can enable the grids, Ctrl+Shift+4. Let's group this and check if it's aligned well on the grid. It is, and let's copy it 2 more times. And let's get the rest of the 2 images that we're going to be using. Let's copy this. And let's select the image. It's the splash here, and paste replace. Hold shift to scale. Let's position it nicely. So this is how to properly note. And let's write here content. Learn how to take notes more effectively and make them more memorable to keep things tidy. And let's actually edit the tags, so this can be productivity. Let's delete this one, and this can be self-development. Make sure I write it correctly. Let's position it 8 pixels away. There we go. And this should be productivity as well. Let's delete the last one. And this should be uiux. And there we go. Okay, the only thing we're missing is the last one. So let's copy this. Select your image. Should be on the splash one. Paste to replace. Hold shift to scale. Let's position this a little bit better. Let's write here best ways to avoid burnout. Let's write here the content. Art has its benefits and downsides as well. On this article, we will focus on how to avoid burnout. And this should be only productivity. Let's delete this too. And let's hide the grids. And there we go, guys. We have a very, very simple and minimalistic polished blog website. Okay, before we wrap this video up, let's give them proper spacing. So select 3 of them, 3 of these articles, group them, and position them 40 pixels from the top. And let's group all of them. Let's position this at approximately 64 pixels. And there we go, guys. We have finished with our website design, and hopefully you learned something new in this video. Hopefully you learned how to design a very minimalistic and simple looking blog website, and hopefully you will use this in any of your future projects. So thank you for watching. Make sure to hit a like button, subscribe, and leave a comment, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.